Gun violence. You see it every day on the news. A school being shot up, someone killed in their home, the political debates about the regulations. You live around it every day, but how much do you really know? Did you know that 32,163 deaths come from the use of firearms in 2011 alone, or that in the last 25 years there have been 61 mass murders in the United States by use of firearms? That the United States has the highest rate of gun ownership in the world? But that South Africa, Brazil, Honduras, and El Salvador have the highest rate of homicides by firearms in the world? That's right. This gun violence problem is not just in the United States, it's everywhere. What are we doing to stop this violence? Great question. In recent years, the United States has struggled on how to handle gun ownership, considering the right to bear arms is guaranteed in the Constitution, as withheld by the 2008 Supreme Court case of District of Columbia versus Heller. This right was reinforced as the right to bear arms was protected by the state and local jurisdiction levels in the 2010 Supreme Court case. Currently, the United States requires all gun owners to go through a background check as introduced in 1988 with the Brady Law. After these background checks, there is no record of gun sales kept, making it harder to track a gun. And of course, this is only done on legitimate commercial sales, not on online or gun shows. Some states, such as Connecticut, are moving to improve their gun ownership laws. The lawmakers of Connecticut have made the strongest and most comprehensive gun legislation in the nation, quote CNN. They have done this by banning certain weapons such as those with high-capacity magazines and have recently required background checks for all purchases. Well, what's going on in the rest of the world? Scotland banned all handguns after a school shooting that killed 16 5- to 6-year-old children. Gun violence has fallen by 1/3 in Scotland. Australia severely restricted gun access to citizens, and since then, the gun violence has fallen by 50% and there has not been a mass murder. Brazil used to have the same passive laws as the United States, but has been transitioning to a more restrictive and protective gun legislation. Even with this beginning movement, gun violence has noticeably decreased. China has extremely strict gun laws, including that guns are not promised by government, no civilian possession without training course, and they must have a legitimately approved reason for carrying firearms. With these strict gun laws, they've only had 13,410 deaths by firearms in 2011, over 2 times less than the United States. Other countries have found a way to control gun violence. Why can't the United States? There has been strict opposition posed by the NRA, the National Rifle Association, saying the government cannot take away the rights declared in the Second Amendment. But what happened to the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? What about the 26 children shot in the Sandy Hook Elementary School? Or the 12 civilians shot in the Colorado movie theater shooting? What about the 16 preschool children shot in Scotland? Those and future victims won't be able to pursue happiness, much less have a life. 2 rights stated in the Constitution that were taken away. If the NRA wants to protect the rights of gun owners, who's going to protect the rights of innocent civilians in the United States that are the victims to the gun violence? It is up to you, the future voters, the future lawmakers. It's your turn to have a voice. What would you do if it was your school being shot at? Or if it was your best friend dying because someone with a mental disease was able to acquire a firearm? Think about it. It just takes one act of gun violence to change your life forever. 1 bullet to your best friend, 1 to your family member, brother or mother, and possibly even 1 to you. Remember, this isn't just in the United States, it's everywhere. Other countries have recognized the problem and handled it in a way that protects their citizens. It's time for all the laggers, including the United States, to step up and join them. It is your choice. Don't let the cycle continue. Mass murder in a school or mall, then people want things to change. Once that pain dies, people turn their backs on what is right in front of them and allow people access to guns again. Then suddenly another shooting happens and people ask, why did we let this happen again? It is your choice to end that painful cycle. End it before it affects you. End it now. Show your support. Talk to your parent or older voters. Talk to your local representative. Anything is better than nothing. Start today to end the gun violence.